Hello again. After the victory of the Taliban in Afghanistan in 2021, millions of Afghans fled the country to neighbouring Iran and Pakistan, where they proceeded to make a nuisance of themselves by stealing, conspiring against the governments of those countries, and committing many sexual assaults, rapes, and murders. Around 35,000 also came to Britain, where they pursued a similar course of action. In this country, we are endlessly patient with such troublesome types, who are the product of generations of inbreeding and incest, but other countries are less tolerant. Rather than putting them up in luxury hotels and bringing them breakfast in bed, Pakistan has adopted a straightforward and effective way of dealing with the problem. This entails rounding up these freeloading vagabonds at gunpoint, putting them on lorries, and then driving them to the border, where they are returned to their own country. So efficient are the Pakistani security forces at this that they have managed to rid their country of no fewer than 350,000 of these supposed asylum seekers since October alone. A marvellous achievement indeed, and one which we in Britain could usefully and profitably emulate, if only we had a single member of the cabinet with a functioning pair of balls. Alas, there is none such, our present government consisting entirely of either women or eunuchs. The result is that in Britain, Afghans continue to arrive by both legal and illegal means. The more that arrive, the more frequently do they feature in newspaper stories under banner headlines which include words such as assault, rape, and stabbing, as I am sure that many viewers will have observed. Of course, there is the occasional bleeding heart liberal in the West who accuses Pakistan of violating international law by their no-nonsense approach to the scourge of illegal immigration, but they very sensibly remember the old Arab proverb in Pakistan at such times, the one which holds that the dogs bark but the caravan passes on. In other words, they continue to rid their country of all the deadbeats and mutants on whom they are able to lay their hands. Inevitably, we are compelled to ask ourselves, why is Britain unable to act in a similar fashion? What is stopping us from rounding up Afghans in this way and simply sending them back to their own country? Well, as I say, part of the problem is that we are actually encouraging more Afghans to come and live here. In the first 6 months of this year, 2,994 Afghan refugees were brought to this country officially by the government. The idea being that we have an open-ended commitment to take anybody who had any connection with the British Army when they were fighting in Helmand province, along, of course, with all their relatives. So, far from deporting Afghans in the way that Pakistan is doing, we are still flying them into this country, and there's no sign of our stopping doing so anytime soon. I wonder how many viewers realise that we've brought another 3,000 Afghans to Britain so far in the first half of the year. In the description to this video, I give a link to Oxford University's Migration Observatory, from which I took these figures. Germany are now trying to wriggle out of the promise which they made to take a similarly endless stream of these people. They are offering Afghans living in Pakistan who claim to have the right to settle in Germany cash payments to return to their own country instead. As I said, keep an eye on newspaper stories and you are sure to see Afghans increasingly mentioned. For instance, the two Afghan asylum seekers charged with raping a 12-year-old girl in Nuneaton in the summer. And of course, the Afghan asylum seeker who was convicted of raping a 15-year-old girl in Scotland in the summer, who blamed cultural differences on his behaviour. Say nothing, of course, of the Afghan asylum seeker charged with murder after a stabbing spree in the Uxbridge district of London a few weeks ago. I give links to news items about these cases in the description to this video.